Happy New Year. That sounded so dull.
Happy New Year.
It was like a must-say programmed robot. Happy New Year. Oh, oh, oh.
Okay. Happy New Year, people. I am Emily. This is CJ.
Mm-hmm.
And we are the Williamses.
Oh, my God.
He hates that.
They know who we are.
No, they
if,
don't.
If they're watching this, or because
you can't assume.
The only people that watch this know who we are.
For
so
now.
It's not a surprise to
For
anybody.
now.
It's not a surprise to you who's on this end of the microphone.
It could be a
Happy
surprise.
New Year, guys.
Happy New
Year. New Year's. If you
New
say New
Year.
Year's, it's incorrect. It's Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
It's only one.
I admire that.
And I had a people text me Happy New Year's.
You had a people?
Some people. I didn't correct them. I was feeling nice, festive for the season.
Were they
and
Hispanic?
It was Natalia.
There you go. Natalia.
I've got text receipts that say it too. I was trying to reserve your identity and protect you, but she kept asking questions, so might as well just throw it all out there.
It was Natalia.
How's everybody doing?
I'm
How are
really
you doing?
scared, guys, because I have no idea what we're going to be talking about today.
I don't know what she's worried about. So I thought it would be fun to bring in the new year with some current events that are going on, because there's weird things that happen in your neighborhood all the time, but you never know about it.
Like what?
Or not even like
What do
not
you
you
mean?
specifically,
Weird
but like
events?
people. Yeah, like stuff happens around us and we don't even know about it. So I thought, what better way to bring in a new year than to chime in on our own local news, or local things that are happening right now. But you didn't answer my question. I asked, how are you? Like, how's your new year? What's your plans for the year?
It's day 2. It's
right
still
now
in
the new
recording.
year. What are your plans? How are you feeling? What are we doing? What
I
are we
feel
accomplishing
good.
this year?
I feel hopeful, and I feel like last year I went into the year unexpected and
Did the year sneak upon you? Just surprise? It's 2023.
yes.
Whoa, I didn't know the whole year had passed.
That's not what I meant. I meant I didn't expect for anything to happen really. Like I just was like, God, do your thing. And he did his thing. And
Well, we did. We had a feeling at the beginning of last year, like, he's going to move.
yeah, but I didn't know what, as usual.
That was that. But do we ever
No.
know what?
No. But I was just like very I feel like 2023 was just a heavy year. It was exhausting for me. Even though it was full of a lot of fulfilling moments and breakthrough, I felt like excited to now be in 2024. And like I told him, I was like on the other side.
Right.
Like I'm like, okay, a breath of fresh air. I can breathe. We made it past the holidays. And
Yeah, that's a breath of fresh air. Holidays are stressful. I feel like the older you get, the more stressful they become, because then you're doing things for other people rather than waiting to get something that you've just been waiting for all year, so to speak, or for at least a couple months when you've put your Christmas wish list in or something like that. So it's no longer the excitement of, oh man, I hope I got this thing, or disappointment if you didn't get it. But now it's more so like, man, I got to do this. I got to plan for that. I made a ham for the first time this year. I did a Christmas holiday ham, and it was delicious.
it was good.
But it was stressful. It wasn't that stressful. But it was one of the added list of
You
things.
literally just poke stuff in there and then put it in the oven.
No. You don't poke stuff in there. You get cloves. Let me put you all on game on your ham. So you get some cloves. I don't know what kind of, it's just to seasoning. It's a seasoning aisle that says cloves. Then you stab those all in the ham. They're like little seasoned sticks, I guess. I feel like they're small twigs that they popped off of a tree. That's what they feel like. But you pop that in the ham. It gives it a nice little zing on the outside skin as it crusts in the oven and bakes, and then you get your glaze. You mix your glaze.
Okay.
You mix your glaze
We know how to
together.
make
It's like
ham.
a brown sugar. No, everybody doesn't know how to make ham. Do you know how to make the ham?
Yes.
Because you didn't make the ham. So you get your little brown sugar. You mix that in. You get the warm water and all that, and then you just drizzle it. And you got to get all the ham cracks.
That's disgusting.
You gotta flip open the little slices of ham and get the glaze in there, and that's what gives you that flavor.
Okay.
It was delicious. You liked that ham, didn't you?
was good.
It was a good
I don't think it
ham.
was worth talking about for 3 minutes straight.
It was a delicious ham, but it's the new year. It's kind of funny how New Year's works, essentially, because time is just a human construct. So realistically, we didn't. The refreshment of feeling like you're going from one season into another isn't really there. It's more of like a mental thing that you that's how you grasp it and understand it. But realistically, you're just really, the days are just going. It's just night and day, night and day, night and day. Technically, today's not even, for the sake of the pod, it's not even Wednesday today. We just have to trust that at some point somebody knew it was Wednesday and that we've been able to accurately keep time since then, so that it is Wednesday today. But it could be anything.
It's not Wednesday.
For the sake of the pod,
Oh.
as they're hearing this, it is a Wednesday.
Well, they can hear it at any point. They're probably listening to it on
If you
Thursday
listen on a
or
release
Friday.
day, whatever day that you're in and you're listening to this podcast, realistically, it's not that day. Anywho, so I want to dive in because I thought this was a really funny story that I had just found. So I want to get Emily's insight on this because it involves a married couple.
A marriage couple.
So a couple that has been married, so it made the news, and I heard it on the radio this morning. I just thought it was an interesting topic at hand. But so this is
interesting.
I'm going to leave all names out of it, just in case someone we know knows them because it is local. But so here it is. Here's a hot topic of the day.
Wait, rename them.
No, I'll just leave their names out of it.
Just rename them just for fun.
Oh, okay. I'll try if I remember. So, pastor accused of trying to throw a cook into a deep fryer at McDonald's for disrespecting his wife, and they put the disrespecting in quotes. So, what was the actual disrespect? We don't fully know. But so here's the story. So, police have accused a North Carolina pastor of attacking a McDonald's worker and trying to push him into a deep fryer. So, as it was explained on the radio, they had this guy in a chokehold and he's fighting him in a McDonald's. So, Pastor McMahon, since I'm changing his name, was arrested on Thursday and charged with assault after police were called to a McDonald's branch on Main Street in High Point, North Carolina. He is a pastor of a church. I'm not going to throw all that out there. Don't need to know that. But he turned up to this fast food joint to assist his wife, Tasha, who is the manager in training at this branch, per police investigation records. That's what that is. So they had called her husband to help handle employees who she told police were disrespecting her. On what level? Who knows?
I'm so confused. I'm not even going to lie.
Entering the restaurant, police say that he walked straight around the corner and launched an assault on the 34-year-old cook. So
what is happening?
So a pastor, basically, a wife is she's a manager in training, whether she is or not anymore.
Wait.
So okay. So the wife works at McDonald's.
Thank you.
The wife works at McDonald's. This is my first time being a news anchor.
I see that.
This is new for everybody.
So lost. I'm like, why isn't the pastor's wife at church? Why are they?
So she's at a job. He's pastor of a local community church. We're on up and coming. So the wife has a job and she's in management, or maybe was. So she works at this McDonald's and the employees were, so to speak, disrespecting her. Now, it doesn't verify what the disrespect was, so we don't exactly know what it is. But whatever it was enough for this pastor to then walk into this McDonald's, walk straight through the counter, like walk around the counter. There's nobody stops him. And then he attacks this guy next to the fryer and then basically almost deep fries the guy's face, but people pulled him off of it. And
wait.
So ask your questions. That's the gist of the story.
What? I don't understand.
The McDonald pastoral deep frying.
So the wife works at McDonald's.
The wife works at McDonald's.
She was just on the job this day, and in comes through the door her husband, who is a pastor.
He's a pastor, yes. He's a local pastor.
Okay.
So he's a pastor.
Why does that matter? Anyways.
How often do you, people, we're all people, but a pastor assaulting someone in a McDonald's,
okay.
That does make local news.
Pastor comes in the McDonald's, and who does he assault?
He assaults one of the employees, the cook, of this particular McDonald's, for instance,
and
if
dips his head.
he didn't dip his head in there, but so as the story explained, he hit the guy several times, gave him a contusion on his forehead and eye.
A contusion.
And yeah, he had a protuberance.
A protuberance.
On his forehead. He had a protuberance on his forehead and eye, and then so the guy's like holding his head over
the deep fryer?
And so several people, it said, had to pull him off of him and then restrain him until police got there. I mean, poor guy, poor cook. First of all,
so did he dip any part of his face?
No, he was not dipped. He was not dipped. He was hit.
Well, what's the point?
He was hit. I mean, that's pretty aggressive. That's almost attempted murder at that point. So it says that his bond was set at $1,000, and for someone almost getting deep fried, that's a little low. But that's the hot topic in NC News circulating today. So I do that to say this.
Is he actually a pastor?
That's what it said. I can't verify. I'm not a news anchor. I didn't dig deep into the story. That's
like,
what the story says.
Is he a pastor or is he posting clips on social media?
Per police investigation, as the story has claimed. I might even post a link to this on something. I'll find a way to post a link so you guys could read for yourself.
There's a difference between being a pastor and putting it in your bio.
Well, there's a church. It mentioned the church. I didn't
Okay.
I didn't want to just put all the stuff out there. It's out there, but I'm not going to be the guy to just let all that be known.
They released the name of
yeah. So all the stuff is in there. So I'll link the story. How about that? Everybody can read the story, and then you'll see what church he's pastor of and all that stuff. But he did assault somebody.
What? It doesn't say why.
For disrespecting his wife. So, and that was a whole big thing. No, so the coworkers or the employees, so to speak, the wife felt, because she's a manager in training, so she was becoming manager, she felt that the employees were disrespecting her, as it says in quotes, but it does not verify what the disrespect was or what level it was to make this man go in there and then assault the guy for so to speak disrespecting
that is crazy,
his wife. So how far would you go if someone disrespected me?
I am not going that far ever.
But does it depend on the level of disrespect? Like, what do you think they said to her? Or was it just like, oh, hey, these people aren't listening to me? Like, it had to have been something. No one just goes off the deep end and borderline dips someone's head in a
My
deep
brain
fryer.
just goes straight to like, I don't know, because I wouldn't use the word disrespect for anything other than like verbal. Yeah.
Something verbal. If I said someone disrespected me, it was usually something verbal, something they said. But me, I can be silver tongued, so chances are I'm going to respond accordingly anyway. So it didn't say she didn't claim anybody had put their hands on her or anything in any way. But it doesn't even say that she requested this. It's almost like the Will Smith slap, essentially. So someone is
right.
Someone's just going to that extent and radical action for a couple words that somebody had said prior to that. Or would you feel honored as a wife if I went and assaulted somebody for you for disrespecting
that's embarrassing. Don't you ever do that, especially as a believer. I think there's more to say there. I'm like, don't embarrass me like that.
But at what point can I put hands on somebody?
If they're in the moment being physical or degrading.
So
I don't know, actually. I don't think so. I think it's...
because words are different than somebody actually charging at you, but then...
I think the only reason for you to be physical with somebody like that, in that way, is if they were harming me.
Okay. So they had to have assaulted me or you first.
Yeah.
So no amount of disrespect, whatever it is.
No, because we can walk away or get another job. Like...
Or you think she would go to HR first.
Right.
I guess depending on how far it goes. But
like, I think that's just... It shows a lack of anger. Or
There's a lot of anger.
Of anger management is what I meant to say.
There's a lot of anger in that. But I really wish they had elaborated further on what the actual disrespect was. But so there's this guy's He's getting arrested. His court date is set in January, so it's going to happen soon. So hopefully we get some updates on that one. But I thought that was it's pretty funny. It's very North Carolina.
North
It's borderline
Carolina
Florida.
They're close. I feel like North Carolina shenanigans and Florida shenanigans are very similar.
And you know what's strange? I feel like wherever, and this sounds very conceited, so I'll preface this by saying
Oh
that.
God.
So doesn't it feel, and I'm sure other people feel this too, but maybe, and it could be the, I don't know the word I'm looking for specifically, but I'll use the manifestation thing just to kind of put that out there, kind of how you, when you start thinking about or saying a certain
The
thing,
law of attraction.
there you go. Thank you. The law of attraction. So whenever you ever notice or feel when you go to a new spot, wherever you're living, it seems like all this stuff is happening like nearer around you.
Yeah.
So like all the time when we were living in Florida, I used to see all the Florida man memes and this is happening and this is happening. Florida people are crazy. And now that we live here in North Carolina, I'm seeing more stuff here about, North Carolina people being this
Crazy,
or that and
yeah.
strange and crazy.
We were around it for sure.
And happening. And that, now we're in one of the larger growing cities in the world. But I feel like that was us when we were in Orlando.
In Orlando, yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, this is one of the fastest growing cities and it's up and coming. And now we're out here and this is one of the fastest cities and it's up and coming. And
Maybe we just keep moving to the up and coming spots.
it's like, I want to be at the spot that's already came. And then pause.
Well, like when we came here to North Carolina, we were like, oh no, Florida's like a little bit more ghetto and like
it's a lawless land out there. I'll admit that, but it's fun. It's just expensive now.
Yeah, but it's like everywhere you go, you start to see that all the similarities that places actually have. Like it's not just Florida that has the things that we thought had. It's not just Florida that Florida doesn't have the things that we thought like only Florida had. There's so much more, and like that's why I love going to other places and kind of seeing also what we didn't have that we thought like didn't know about. I think, excuse me,
I'm bored.
I'm not bored. I'm just exhausted. It's my medication. I'm on drugs. I'm not on drugs.
But aren't you?
But I can't.
Aren't you though?
Let me stop. It gives me really bad fatigue. Brain fog.
It's okay. It's okay. We love you as you are.
Thank you.
Do you think that the world will be just as crazy when we move to New York?
Who's moving to New York?
I didn't tell you, but this is my official resignation of anything that I do in this city, and we are picking up everything that we own. We're selling it all, and we're going to live in New York.
No, we're not.
In Manhattan.
No, we're
That's
not.
a good part, right? Or is it Brooklyn?
We're not moving anywhere if you don't know enough.
Shout out to Alba and Carlos in Brooklyn. They're in Brooklyn, right?
I don't listen.
They're in something with a B. Is
I'm
Brooklyn or
not
the Bronx?
moving to New York.
I also feel like they're the same place.
I don't
What's
like
the difference
it.
between the Bronx and Brooklyn?
They're
Why
just
don't you like New
different
York?
boroughs.
What's wrong with New York? Go ahead and tell the people. Tell the New Yorkers what you find wrong with them.
It's gross. We're
We're officially canceled in New York.
It's hard to get around.
To get round?
To get around.
It's pretty easy to get round.
Can't drive a car because people suck at driving there.
That's also Florida. And parts here. So people run more red lights here than I've ever seen in my life. I remember that lift that we took.
Exactly.
That guy,
I don't want that.
He specifically was a little nuts, but we got to our spot
the
where we
subway's
needed
disgusting.
to. Subway was fun. I had a blast on the subway. I became one of the one swipers, so I don't like to feel out of place when I visit new places. So I do the best that I can to blend in as quickly as possible. And so I didn't blend in by jumping over the turnstile, but I might have really fit in at that point. But everyone's like, you can't sit there and try to scan it because then people get mad and the line gets backed up really quick. So literally, I was just one swipe. I figured it out. Within day 2, I was in and out of there. I
don't care for that. I'm like
subbing it.
I just want to get to where I need to get to in a good amount of time, and then
But it doesn't take that long because the subway just
It does.
constantly moves.
You've never had to be on a subway in rush hour, and it shows.
We were there one day in rush hour where it was like, everybody's kind of breathing down your neck, but because the subway is not blocked by traffic. So in reality, it's almost a faster method of travel.
No, it's not, because different things affect it. People's commute affects it. The weather affects it. Different things can affect it.
How does the weather affect it? Because it's on a track, but it's underground.
That's true.
Most of it.
No,
Most of it's
some
underground.
Of it is
they have the
not.
part that goes above ground, but then they usually have like the heated rails.
Who told you this?
Knowledge. Knowledge of how the outside operates.
Okay, but then it gets gross when people are coming in and out and they've got snow on their shoes, dirt on their shoes. Everything is nasty.
Okay, so nasty, maybe, but efficient. It is efficient.
It is not efficient.
You have to
they
give
break down all the time, and then you have to take other routes to places. And no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but anything breaks down. A plane could break down.
Christopher James.
A plane could break down.
The freaking
Planes
subway
break down.
breaks down so often. They close out routes like nothing.
Well, because they're doing construction and maybe upping the city.
We're not moving to New York.
Okay, so if you could move one more time right now, any place that you wanted to, where would you go? Money's not an option. Money's not an issue.
Money's not an option.
Money's not an object. I had the first letter correct.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Right now.
Do I have a job there?
Let's just for this scenario, it's the perfect situation that you could possibly think. Whatever job that you wanted, you currently have it. You could move to this location, and it's just some place that you've always wanted to live and just kind of coexist in.
If money's not an object, I had the job that I wanted and the house that I wanted, I would.
If I had everything.
And you didn't make me upset in this perfect world.
If I was just the perfect husband, I walked around in an apron and baked muffins all day.
And still brought home money.
My muffins are going to bring all the boys to the yard.
You run a muffin business.
I am the muffin man.
I would probably say Mint Hill, Charlotte.
Mint Hill?
I want to stay in Charlotte.
Mint Hill? I mean, there's nothing wrong. Mint Hill's nice. It's a nice area.
They got big houses out there.
I expected you to say something maybe extravagant or at least out of state, maybe out of the country.
I love Charlotte, and I want to stay.
Mint Hill.
Not Mint Hill, but somewhere nice in Charlotte.
Mint Hill's nice.
They got some nice.
Not even Valentine?
Houses. I don't really care for Valentine like
Valentine's
that.
nice.
It is nice.
Sort of rich folks' day.
I want just like a nice, safe neighborhood in Charlotte.
Which we're in.
Yes, but it's a small house. So, with an ideal house, with ideal space.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love Charlotte because the weather is nice.
I wish it snowed a little more often. Just like not like Winston-Salem did. Because I remember, because I was more ice, and that was kind of hectic. And I'm not, us being from Florida, we don't handle snow very well. At least driving, I could walk out in it. I remember the kid that slipped and fell down the hill, though. That was amazing. But
what about you?
Where would I go?
New
York. That's what we were just talking about. If I had the funds to live nicely in New York, I don't want to be like a regular in New York.
But you could just get a loft in Charlotte.
It's not the same. It's not the same. There's something, and obviously, because if it doesn't say it already, I've only been to New York once in 2017. So I have one experience to go off of, which was also in May. So it was just freshly spring, but it was still cool outside. So I don't know what it's like when it's snowing, or all that, or any type of season where it's incredibly hectic and people are doing this and that all over the place.
You will be traumatized.
I had a wonderful time. It was so
you were
cool.
Okay, he was traumatized in the mountains.
That's different.
Where it was snowing.
Because we almost died.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with the same thing.
The snow in New York is dangerous.
Yeah, but I'm not on the edge of a mountain. At worst,
but they
maybe
have
I slide
hills.
into like a bus.
I'll take the mountain.
No,
I don't
falling
wanna
off the edge of
slide
a mountain.
into a bus.
Why did it? So here's the thing, because when it's that cold too, it's like, yeah, you have damage and whatnot that happens to vehicles, but it's not as severe because it's almost solidified to a certain extent because it's so cold. So it's so hard that you don't really. And when you're not going that fast anyway, where you're like, oh no, I slid into a bus. Usually you slide like kind of going like 20 miles an hour, which can mess you up a little bit. You could injure your neck and all that.
I just don't care for New York.
But also, you don't have to drive. You could walk. And that's a great beauty of New York. You could walk anywhere. So
you know
everything's within like a 3
Do you
block
know
radius.
Me?
Yes, and that's
I
the
need to be
unfortunate
dropped
part.
off right in front of the store.
If I'm taking her to Publix, she's like, can you drop me off a little closer to the door? I'm like, bro, get out. You have legs. You got to walk around the store anyway.
Exactly.
That reminds me of this. I remember when I was working at Universal. This is one of those things that like got under my skin. This couple came. I was working the parking garage, and this family came. And so we have cones laid out. If you've ever been to Universal Studios and you've gone through the parking structure, you know that they have cones all over the place trying to guide you. And there's people out there, me, in a bright vest trying to tell you where to go. And this guy ignored the cones and tried to park where he wanted to park, so a little closer to the escalator. And on the floor that we were on, he's not going to be any closer by being next to that escalator. The parking garage structure is really weird. So if you ever try to get preferred parking, it really doesn't matter. Don't pay the extra parking.
Get to the point.
Just go. Don't rush me. Don't pay for the preferred parking. It doesn't matter because if you're on the preferred floor and you're all the way in the back, it's closer if you go to the next floor and all the way in the front. But so this guy, he goes over the cone and rolls over and it gets stuck under his car. And I'm like, they're yelling at him, telling him not to turn there. So I go up and like meet the guy. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the cone. Lie. It's bright yellow. It's just, you can't miss it. And there's a row of them. And you could probably hear it dragging under the car. I'm like, well, man, it's your problem now. Like if it does anything to your car, that's on you. I'm like, why didn't you come down this way? And he looks at me and says, my mom is in a wheelchair. We can't do that much walking. You came to a theme park, sir. What do you think you're going to do the entire time here? And she's in a wheelchair. She's not walking. You are. Like, you have to push her anyway. And he gave me this whole kit and caboodle and ruined my parking structure with all the cones and whatnot. And now probably has damage under his car and definitely broke my cone because he didn't want his mom to walk.
Do you have any other Universal shenanigans?
I mean, it was a dull job. It paid the bills. I was a toll attendant for the most part. When I wasn't working parking, I was a toll attendant, and we're just out there like, hey, $17 DSH for my Portuguese peeps out there. That's the only word I learned in Portuguese. How to say 17.
Oh,
DSH.
You don't even know.
It's been a while. I'm sure the prices have gone up, but that's literally, and we got a lot of Portuguese people, but they knew that. All I would say DSH, and they just hand me $17 or some money, and I give them change because that's how much it was for the regular parking. I do want to end this on a positive note of news stories. So I found a heartfelt news story that you might enjoy. So this one's from Florida.
Of course.
Very typical. Pigeon found outside Florida hair salon reunites with owner after 15 months.
I am so confused. More confused than the first story.
So this is the heartfelt story of a pigeon who found its owner after 15 months that went missing after Hurricane Ian. So a seemingly ordinary pigeon found outside a Cape Coral beauty salon turned out to be an unexpected Christmas miracle, reuniting with its owner after being missing for over 15 months since Hurricane Ian. So this lady, she was in a hair salon chair of Eva's Hair and Skin Salon in Cape Coral when a bird started drawing people outside the front. Oh, I get it.
You thought the bird was drawing pictures of people?
I had to read the double take that twice. What? That would draw my attention too, like a bird started drawing people. So I started drawing the attention of people. Whoever wrote this should have wrote. I'm just gonna quit.
And this has been Lettuce Spray.
My brain just turned off. I was gonna. I'm just DJ mixing. I was gonna say we should have Ivana Ivana, like read through these and give them read through these. But I'll post that link too. I don't even want to read the rest of the story. That was just supposed to be a heartfelt story. This pigeon reunited with its owner, a wild pigeon. Apparently the lady, she makes friends with animals on the outside. She's Cinderella.
That's kind of weird.
Or Snow White. Who is the animal person?
Snow White.
Snow White, okay. She's the Snow White of South Florida.
These were good stories.
This has been Let Us Pray. Clearly, I'm not meant to be a news anchor.
We hope that you guys have. We hope that you guys.
We need a doctor. Somebody check us out mentally to see if we're making it out this year alive.
Oh my gosh! We hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and year
and new year. Keep those resolutions going.
Yes.
Don't be a slacker. Plan. Do what you need to do. Send us some heartfelt stories. If you like this newscast episode, send us one of your stories.
Newscast episode.
Maybe we might feature it on here.
We were the worst news anchors.
That's your local North Carolina and Florida news. We're just gonna find the best stories of Florida and North Carolina. This has been Let Us Play.
Carolina.
Floralina. North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah.
Or Floridalina. No, I like North Carolina.
Romander.
To always stay fresh.